The other one is, what tax cuts are people for? It's very important we take the corporate rate down again. Remember, Trump and the Republicans wanted it down to 15%. They only got to 21. I think it's important that we go not to 15, but to 14. Why? Because 15 is what the Europeans want to set as the floor. If we're going to tell the Europeans and the rest of the world, you're not setting our tax rates, we need to make sure they understand we're not going to live with their effort to make everybody have a floor of 15%. We want to compete on the lowest taxes and the lowest regulatory burden, not the lowest wages. And that's why we should go to 14. Say, you guys can stay up at 15, 20 if you want. We're going to 14. The other one is indexing the cost basis for capital gains. There's no reason anymore to be taxing inflation. And particularly with Biden's inflation, it's devastating for people who have a capital gain on stocks or houses or land or anything else or business. If you've got to pay a capital gains on the fake gain that you got from inflation, we need to index that so that inflation is not taxed when you pay capital gains.
Well, I mean, it's just so absurd to me that you would buy a stock, it goes up on paper, you made money, but it's all on paper, and you're supposed to pay tax for that. You know, look, you're talking about the GOP field wanting to lower taxes and pledging to veto any increase in tax. The Biden administration wants to raise taxes, and they've got their plan in place. There's still, however, the White House refusing to answer questions about how much President Biden's American Climate Corp work program will cost taxpayers. Biden created this program through executive action last week. He did so quietly. It will train 20,000 young adults to work in jobs focused on clean energy and environmental justice projects, according to the White House. Democrats and the White House have previously said this program could cost between $10 and $30 billion, Grover. What is the cost, and what is that going to mean for our taxes, given the man in the White House is pledging to raise our taxes?
Well, Congress hasn't voted this. The president wanted Congress, the Democrats in Congress, to vote for this and pass a bill. We have no idea what the justification is for spending billions of dollars of other people's money on a program that has not been enacted in law.
You're saying Congress? Congress did not vote on this program?
Huh?
Yeah, but already we've got tax increases in the books from this president's Inflation Reduction Act and all of the other legislation he passed. We're expecting an increase in taxes next year.
Oh, the President Biden has tried to raise taxes at every possible opportunity. Remember, the biggest fib he told was he'd never raise taxes on anyone who earned less than $400,000. Of course, since he got elected, he's raised taxes on energy. He's raised taxes on all sorts of things that directly hit and indirectly hit middle-income people. Yeah. So now he's also going to be auditing people, middle-income people. The Republicans put a bill up saying, well, how about a law that says you're going to have $80 billion for new IRS agents, no additional efforts to audit middle-income people. Yeah. Democrats all voted it down. That's exactly who they're going after.
Wow. And how about this newly implemented law that could impact taxpayers who make money reselling concert or sports tickets this year? This law lowers the tax reporting threshold for those using platforms like Ticketmaster, StubHub, requiring the websites to give the IRS information on those who sold more than $600 worth of tickets. The previous threshold was $20,000 in revenue, more than 200 transactions, Grover. But this tax provision was included in the American Rescue Plan, the other legislation that this president signed into law. You know, he's got tax increases hidden in all of these packages. You know, I was outraged when I saw that any transaction over $600, you know, some of those companies like Venmo or PayPal, they are being forced to report all of those transactions. So you're going to get taxed on it if you've got a transaction of $600. Now they're adding into that if you sell or resell sports tickets.
They're going after everything. They say they're going after billionaires. How many billionaires do you know sell their children's old clothes and maybe sell $600 worth? It may have cost you several $1,000s to buy all the children's clothes or a motorcycle that you bought years ago. Venmo, Facebook, PayPal, will send the federal government, under the law that Biden passed and the Democrats passed, will send them a note saying, you just earned $1,000. Well, do you still have your receipts? If you don't have your receipts, you're paying taxes on $1,000 of income, even though you may have bought a motorbike for $5,000 and sold it for $1,000. It's the $1,000 that the government will have proof of. And unless you kept your receipts, you're going to be paying taxes on money that you lost.
Amazing. Grover, thank you. Grover Norquist will be watching the candidates' response on all of this tonight.